That's pretty good. All righty. Well, I wanted to check on a couple of things as we move here from phase 2 to phase 3. First one is, how did you know it was time to move to phase 3? How did you know you were done with the investigation?
Yeah. I mean, it was a couple weeks coming. we had slowed down for a while, and they weren't really playing in dramatic play as much anymore, and they weren't as involved in the small groups or large groups we had about it, and we had answered all of the questions they had come up with throughout the couple months, and then they weren't really coming up with any new ones. So there wasn't much left to do.
Yeah. Well, and you had your expert visits.
Yeah.
And you had your field trip, and you had investigated, you'd really found out what they wanted to find out.
Yeah. Once we finished the prosthetic leg, there was really nothing left to do.
Yeah. That was a good way to go out, though, because that was very different for most kids don't get to look into prosthesis.
Yeah. No, it was cool. And the leg was kind of old, but still really neat to see.
Kind of like worn out, or
and it didn't look like the ones in the videos we had watched were like newer, so they just looked different. So then that was kind of neat, because then we could talk about, well, this one's different than the ones we've seen in our videos. What makes them different? Yeah. So it worked out, but at first, when I first brought it out, they were like, they were kind of scared because it looks like a leg.
Yeah. What a neat opportunity for them, though. Yeah. That's real. I'm glad you had that connection.
Yeah.
Right, so for your culminating event, the kids decided to make a book. How did that come about?
So I asked them, I said, we've learned a lot about doctors. How are we going to show everyone what we've learned? And most of them were just like, oh, we'll just tell everyone. Yeah. And I was like, okay. But if we tell everyone, we might forget some of that stuff. And they're like, well, we could write it down. And I was like, well, yeah, then everyone writes down something different, and then you're just writing down what you remember. What if someone else remembers something else? So then I kind of had to prod them a little bit. So I was like, well, where do we go when we want to look something up? And they were like, oh, we look at the iPad. I said, yes, we do. Where else do we go? And then one of the kids said, oh, we look at the books. And I said, oh, we look at books. And then someone else said, well, what if we wrote all of our stuff down and made it into a book? And then it kind of went from there.
Yay. Well, I'm glad that worked out, because it, I think, is a reasonable thing to expect your kids to be able to do.
Yeah.
Inviting other classes in at this point would have been, I think, a challenge. So that's great.
And, we've been doing the project for so long, inviting other kids in would have been good to remember the initial stuff, but it would have taken a lot of prodding to bring up everything that we've done.
Yeah, because they've kind of moved on.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
The book is going to be great, though. This morning, I was so excited to watch them draw their pictures. You got, what, 6 of them,
6.
I think, draw some detailed learning that they really had remembered. I was so
and
excited.
Especially, like, Genesis. I mean, she would have never been able to do that at the beginning of our project.
She sat so still. Yeah,
and she thought of, you can tell she really resonated with the dentist and teeth stuff, because she lost teeth during this project, so that helped. But, that is something it's really cool to see.
Yeah. I thought she might draw a gap in the teeth that she drew, but she didn't.
Yeah, because she really likes to the chalkboard where she draws the mouth, and then she'll erase each tooth and be like, oh, he lost this tooth. Now this tooth is missing.
Yeah, that's great. So what tools and resources did you give them when they were working on the book today?
I pulled up, a couple of them wanted to draw pictures of our site visit or visitors that came in. So if it was a visitor who we had a board for, Yanis actually said, why don't we bring the board in so we can look at those pictures? So that was his idea. Yeah. So we brought in the board, and then I had the iPad, and they could look at those pictures. And then someone else wanted to draw a stethoscope, so we had the stethoscope here, and he could look at that. And then a couple of them just drew from memory.
Oh, yeah.
That's like Yanis made the robot, but that robot is his child, so he knows every single detail of it.
Yeah, he does. And who was it that went over to look at the board? On pharmacist Isaac.
Yeah, he wanted to draw his mom at first, but then once he got over there, he decided to write pharmacist and draw a picture of giving medicine. And he wrote pharmacist, and then he drew the idea of the shot with the medicine, because he had the liquid coming out of something, and he was like, you have to push it right here, and then it comes in, and then he drew himself at the end, I guess, getting the medicine. So.
Did you get some dictation down about that yet from him?
I got some down. And then the rest I'm going to go back and read afterwards. I'm like, what did you draw here? So I can get a detailed dictation and focus on that. Because today I was really focused on just the picture. And once I have a picture for everyone, I'll get the story of the picture from everyone, and then hopefully get another round of photos.
Yeah. We'll see. It's really great. When are are you gonna have time tomorrow or the next day to get the
this
rest of them?
is all we're doing for the week.
Oh, that's what
Working
you're
on
doing.
a book.
Okay, good. Well, then you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
And how do you put that together? Do you have some? Is that gonna be? Can you spiral it, or do you punch it or tie it, or staple it, or?
Yeah, for our official version, I'm thinking of putting it, in a binder with those papers.
Oh, the sheet protectors?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's for the classroom version, but then for each one that the parents get, I'll probably just if they want, the kid can help me with it, or I can just do it and put them together and then just give each one a copy.
Yeah,
with
I
the
love
staple.
sending it home with the families. I think it'll be a real keepsake for them, and plus a good conversation piece for the parents. Great way to bring the parents in.
Yeah, and I think once we've read it enough, the kids will know what is happening on each page, and then I'll give it out after that. So when I give it to them, I'm like, go home and read this. You read this to your mom and dad.
Yeah. What help do you need from me on the rest of the book? I tried to run interference today a little bit.
No, that was helpful. And then I guess, we kind of already talked about the things that we've done in our project, the different dialysis, prosthetic leg, all of that stuff. So I'll keep a tally with your tally of what we have a drawing of, so you can kind of help me be looking at it and be like, we're missing.
Yeah, because we don't have dialysis.
We don't have dialysis yet. We don't have anything about Yanis or Isaac's mom. We have Sarah's mom. We have the dentist's.
The virtual hospital room.
We have the virtual hospital visit. We don't have the prosthetic leg. They mentioned it, but no one actually drew it.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe once we're back in the room, some things will spur, because we have more pictures up than we do in here.
Yeah.
So if we can keep a tally together,
Mm-hmm.
and also once we get to the end, we'll go through it together and make sure we have an even amount of everyone.
Good idea. Yes. Don't want any angry children or sad, or angry parents or sad children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we do that. Okay. So what are you thinking about the end of this? How are you feeling about the end? Is this a loss of your...
I don't know what we're going to do in the room, because we've been doing this since October, the very beginning of October.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's March.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So it'll be interesting to see where we're going to go from here.
Yeah. Well, it takes time, I think, especially on the first project. This is your first project.
Yeah.
It takes a whole lot of time to figure out the topic.
Yeah.
Phase 1 is just hugely important, and unfortunately you don't have too much time in the rest of the year to spend on phase 1, 2, and 3, but we can talk about that more as you pick a topic that perhaps is a little less huge than doctors.
Right. Yeah, doctors just had too many facets. In a good way, maybe not too many, but it has a lot of facets that I think we've gone down so many different alleys with it.
You have, because their interests kind of flipped around and changed periodically, from medical machines to prosthetics to just doctor's office kind of stuff. So you'll be winding this up in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Probably, right?
Hopefully pretty soon.
So then April. All right, I will keep my ears open for topics.
Yeah, and that's what Natalie did last week when I was gone.
Did she come up with anything?
No, but she started looking.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen on the playground, and hopefully there might be something outside that would get them interested.
Spring's coming.
Yeah.
And I know when I was gone, they found a stick, and Claudia said that it'll start blooming. So we have it in water in our room, and flowers have kind of started spurting out of this stick. So maybe we'll go somewhere with that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But, so we'll start getting bugs and animals again. So maybe we'll go somewhere with that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Or you never know. Sometimes it's really...
Or something else, yeah.
Or like somebody cut their foot and that's how you end up a doctor. So who knows what little serendipitous thing will happen to you. All right. Well, thanks, Erin. We're going to cut the tape off now.
Okay.